Good morning. Welcome to the Lechicala Kitchen. Thank you so much for your response to the last couple of videos. Today I have to make a birthday cake for someone, and we are doing a Swiss coffee cake, which is actually a yeast cake. Allora, it's hot out today, so I'm not looking forward to this, but do what you gotta do. We have 1.25 cups of warm milk. Here we go. We're just going to proof this first. We have a tablespoon of yeast and 2 tablespoons of sugar. We're going to mix that up a little bit. And I'm just going to let this proof for 5 minutes. I know this yeast is fresh, but we'll be back in 5 minutes and let you see what it looks like. Okay, so I have 1.25 cups of flour here, and I'm going to add 1/2 teaspoon of salt and 1/3 cup of flour. And I'm going to mix that up a little bit and add that to our yeast mixture. And we're going to add about 1.5 teaspoons of vanilla and about 1 teaspoon of almond extract, more or less. I'm going to mix that up. Now I'm going to cover this, and we're going to let this rise for about an hour till it's doubled. Now I have a stick of butter off to the side, and I'm going to let that soften because I'm going to add that to this in an hour. I'm going to add half of it actually. Half of it is going to go to the crumbs on top. So this is going to get covered. We're going to let it rise. This is going to be so good. Let me tell you, the Swiss know their desserts. How easy is this? Awesome. I want to make sure I get to the bottom of this. Awesome. Okay, see you in an hour. Okay, so it's been an hour, and look at that. It's doubled. It's kind of bubbly. So what we have now is a very soft 1/2 stick of butter. Ooh. And we have another 1.25 cups of flour we're going to sprinkle in there. And we need a pretty stiff spatula because we're going to get that butter mixed in there really well along with the flour. Okay? We've got to get that all mixed in there. All right. Now I have a 9.5 inch, might be considered a 9-inch springform pan, well greased. I have a piece of parchment paper on the bottom, but that's up to you. Just make sure it's well greased. Ready to go. There we go. I'm telling you, the Swiss, the Germans, they know their desserts. This is so good. This is going to be a very happy birthday for this person. Get this off of here so I can mix this really well. Okay. Mix it as well as I can, get that butter incorporated. Okay, so here's my spring form. This bowl was really heavy. This is a very old antique bowl. It was my grandma's, actually. And I'm going to get this all in here. Probably get it all over my dress. It is such a hot day today. Got the air conditioner cranked up. Okay. Spread this out. Now the oven is preheated at 375. Spread this out as much as you can. You really want this all the way to the edges. And then I'll show you the crumb mixture. Okay. There we go. Awesome. Now, what I have here is a cup of flour, a cup of sugar, and a cup of very soft butter that I used a pastry blender and I blended in. And I used some vanilla bean powder, but you can use vanilla flavoring or almond flavoring. And I mixed it in, and I'm just gonna clump up pieces just like that and make clumps and make, oh, I've got a fly in here, yuck. Make clumps of crumbs. I hate summer flies, yuck. We do our best not to have them, but there's nothing you can do about them. North Carolina, New York, same thing. I have a machine I put on at night, and it really helps. It's called a, oh God, I can't remember what it's called. I got it on Amazon, and it really helps, but every once in a while, if you get one. Okay. Now this is gonna go in that 375 oven for about 35 minutes. And we'll be back then. Now, it's not going to be too dark. You don't want to overbake this because this is a moist cake. And we are going to be making pork chops for dinner tonight. If you like sauerkraut, it's a really good recipe. I do it with lots of sauteed onions and wine, and I will be doing a video on that at some point. And I will also be doing a video this week on melanzane con carrozza, which is an eggplant sandwich with prosciutto and mozzarella. So stick around for that because that's also delicious. But come back and see the results of this cake because it's really, really good. See you soon. Oops. Hey, look at this gorgeous cake. Check that out. We're gonna let that cool off. Put it on a plate and sprinkle some powdered sugar on it. And happy birthday. This is going to be one of the best birthdays ever. So I will show it to you when it's plated, but I can guarantee that if you give this to someone for their birthday or any occasion, even a weekday, they're gonna love you and think you're a rock star. Buon cibo, buon amici. We'll be back when it's plated. See you soon. Buon cibo, buon amici, and happy birthday.